sitting quietly beneath a tree. The traveler was in a hurry. He was burdened by worries, deadlines, disappointments, and anxieties. Seeing the man seated peacefully, he asks, "How can you sit there doing nothing when there is so much to be done in the world?" The man smiled and replied, "I am not doing nothing. I am putting my mind in order. For if the mind is in disorder, everything I touch will become disorderly. But if the mind is at peace, everything I touch can become peaceful." The traveler sat beside him for a few minutes. They spoke very little. Yet when he rose to continue his journey, he felt lighter than when he had arrived. There's a profound lesson in that simple story. In a world that is constantly moving, building, expanding, and changing, we sometimes forget that true progress begins within. The greatest transformations often start not with machines or money, not with roads or buildings, but with the human spirit and in our thoughts. That is why we gather this morning at State House to celebrate a remarkable milestone and to welcome Sister Jayanti, an exceptional soul who contributes to humanity every single day. I ask you to put your hands together. The 50th anniversary of the Brahma Kumaris in Guyana. 50 years is a significant achievement. It represents half a century of service, dedication, spiritual teaching, personal transformation, and community upliftment. It represents 50 years of helping Guyanese discover the power of inner peace, meditation, self-reflection, and positive thinking. For 5 decades, the Brahma Kumaris have quietly but steadily contributed to the spiritual and moral development of our nation. Their work has touched countless lives and has helped many individuals navigate the challenges of modern life with greater balance, resilience, and purpose. This morning, as I said, we as a country are particularly pleased to welcome as a nation and as a people, Sister Jayanti. Sister Jayanti, your presence here is a source of great joy and inspiration. We thank you not only for joining us on this special occasion, but also for the foundational work that you undertook in Guyana in the early years of the movement's development. The seeds that were planted through your guidance, encouragement, and vision have flourished over the decades. Today we see the fruits of that labor in the many individuals whose lives has been enriched by the teachings and practices of Brahma Kumaris. We are honored by your presence and deeply appreciative of your contribution to the spiritual landscape of Guyana. Indeed, your contribution reminds us that the strength of a nation is not measured only by the infrastructure it builds, but also by the values it cultivates. The work of the Brahma Kumaris has helped nurture the inner lives of countless individuals, demonstrating that genuine progress requires both material advancement and spiritual growth. As Guyana moves confidently into a new era of prosperity and development, this lesson has never been more relevant. Guyana today is undergoing an extraordinary transformation. Across our country, we see new roads, bridges, schools, hospitals, housing developments, and economic opportunities. We are witnessing a period of unprecedented national development. But as we celebrate material progress, we must also recognize that a nation can build highways, but it must also build character. A nation can construct buildings, but it also must construct values. And a nation can accumulate wealth, but it must also cultivate wisdom. Development must therefore be measured not only by what we build around us, but also by what we build within ourselves. A nation's true progress is therefore incomplete if it is confined to the material alone. It must also be reflected in the character, values, and consciousness of the people. It is precisely this inner dimension of development that gives meaning and direction to our material achievements. The vision of One Guyana is not merely about economic growth or infrastructure development. It is about creating a society united by mutual respect, understanding, compassion, and shared purpose. It is about building bridges not only across rivers, but also across communities, cultures, religions, and generations. In this regard, the philosophy of the Brahma Kumaris aligns closely with the aspirations of One Guyana. The teachings of the Brahma Kumaris reminds us that every human being possesses an inherent dignity that transcends race, religion, ethnicity, political affiliation, or social status. They encourage us to see humanity in one another. They encourage us to replace anger with understanding, division with cooperation, and negativity with hope. At the heart of the One Guyana vision is the belief that our diversity is a source of strength rather than division. At the heart of the Brahma Kumaris philosophy is the understanding that we are all connected through our shared humanity and our common spiritual journey. Both perspectives call upon us to rise above narrow interests and to work towards the greater good. That is why spiritual development remains so important in our national journey. When individuals become more peaceful, communities become more harmonious. When communities become more harmonious, nations become stronger. When nations become stronger, humanity moves closer to the peace for which we all yearn. No society can successfully address its challenges through legislations and policies alone. Lasting progress also requires self-discipline, empathy, integrity, and a commitment to higher values. These are qualities that must be nurtured in the hearts and minds of citizens. The work of the Brahma Kumaris contributes significantly to this process of inner transformation. The Brahma Kumaris have made an invaluable contribution to the promotion of yoga, meditation, mindfulness, emotional resilience, and personal well-being. For decades, they have provided spaces where individuals can pause amid the pressures of